and welcome back to our show, Health, Wellbeing and Lifestyle. Our first guest today is Helen Mack, and this is part of the series Optimising Outcomes, and today she's talking about taking action. So welcome, Helen.
Thanks, Linda.
Can you just start us off by how people would start taking action?
Sure. So we've talked about creating clarity, we've talked about maximising momentum, and we've talked about maintaining mindset. And all of that is fantastic, but if you're only thinking about it, then nothing's going to change. So without action, all we have is contemplation. And thinking never made anything occur. I think some people get into what I call analysis paralysis. They spend so much time thinking about which should I do and what's the best thing to do that they don't realise that by simply choosing to act, they bring in some power from the universe that somehow supports and helps you then take the next step.
So important, isn't it, for us to think about that overthinking takes over so easily in life.
And it's exhausting because you spend your whole time trying to sort out the priorities and which is the best thing and can I and just asking all these questions that end up with you going into a spiral and nothing happens. And then you start beating yourself up about all the things you should do. I call it shoulding all over yourself. I should do this and I should do that. None of that matters. All you need to do is just take a small positive step forward. And the wonderful thing that happens then is that you get feedback. So you take a tiny step and the universe gives you feedback. That was a great decision, Helen, keep going. Or, oh, I don't think so. And you'll get obstacles and things that make it really, really difficult. And the key piece is to watch for those, to notice those messages and go, this is seeming like it's really, really hard. Maybe I should just pause and take a slightly different direction. So I like to use, this is going to give away my age, but I like to use the example of push starting a car. Now, there are going to be some of our viewers who go, what are you talking about? Because you can't push start automatics. But in the days of manual cars, you had to get the car into momentum before you could change direction. You had to take action. You had to put some input in to get an outcome. And it's the same with whatever goals you're at. Your viewers may have noticed, if they've been watching, that I'm a bit of a fan of orange. And the other analogy that I love to use is that you can't get orange juice from an orange by looking at it. You actually have to do something. You have to squeeze. And I think life's a bit like that. You don't get the juice out of life if you don't give it a good squeeze.
On that path where people can get caught up in this positive thinking thing, you were talking about that earlier. What's your take on affirmations and that sort of perspective?
I think that one of the challenges that I have with affirmations is that when a lot of people teach affirmations, they teach you to talk in the current tense about things that are going to happen in the future tense. And I think that a lot of people struggle with that because my brain goes, no, I'm not. I say, I'm tall and fit and healthy, and my little voice says, no, I'm not. So I like if I'm going to make statements about my future, I use action words, verbs, like I'm working towards, or I'm taking steps towards, or I'm becoming, rather than I am. Because my brain fights with me. If I say I am something that I'm working towards, I literally have the little voice going, no, you're not. And so I think that's a problem. Now, I'm an optimist by personality and by trade. That's what I teach the world, is how to be more optimistic. The problem with that thinking doesn't make anything happen. So, bad news for all of us. We cannot sit on the couch and think positively about the red Ferrari coming down the driveway. It's not going to happen. The piece that's missing is what I call the action imperative. The only way to get that red Ferrari, if that's what you want, is to go out and do something to make that happen. And that's why I love optimism as an approach, because optimism has a built-in action imperative. The word itself, optimism, comes from optimus, which is Latin, the search for the good, the search for the best possible. And again, your viewers may remember that from our first episode. So the search for the best possible outcome is built into optimism. It doesn't mean that we are always sweetness and light and balloons and streamers. It means that we take a realistic look at what's going on. Where am I now? Where do I want to go? What's the best possible route for me to get there? And then what's the action I can take to move me towards that goal?
I love that becoming. Because that's totally relevant for me in my journey. I could always have those arguments with myself, and then the overthinking's more compounded, isn't it?
Correct.
You're not feeling like that. So
No.
how can I be that if I'm not feeling?
Yeah,
like
I can't say I am when I'm not yet. So I'm becoming is a very powerful change of verb.
So in regard to bigger things and with that possibility thinking, what sort of action can we take towards that to get the best possible scenario?
So I'm going to start with one that your viewers have probably heard before, because I think a lot of people have heard, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Now, I quite like that analogy, except that I also like elephants. So I don't like the idea of eating elephants. I think the key is to take the tiniest possible step to activate what we talked about a couple of sessions ago around maximising momentum. Once we get into action, once we get into movement, like pushing that stalled car, once we get it moving, then we've got the chance to change direction. It's very hard to change direction from being stopped, from being stationary. In any big project, the key is just to take that first tiny step. Once you get that tiny step, you'll get feedback, you'll have a chance to take more steps and more steps. One of my favourite sayings in this area was delivered to me by a very good friend, Max Dixon, and he said, just choose a single, simple, doable thing. Then you know you've done it, and then you can choose another one. Baby steps will still get you there.
Oh, wonderful. Thanks so much, Helen, for joining us in this series. For more information on Helen and optimising outcome and today's taking actions on that, then please go to her webpage on our website, healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au. And now we'll go to break and be back with another beautiful guest. Please stay tuned, and after the break, lymphologist Michelle Richardson is talking about the benefits of lymphatic drainage massage. Welcome back, and next we have Michelle Richardson, a lymphologist, and she's back with us today talking about lymphatic drainage massage. Welcome, Michelle.
Hi, thank you.
So what is lymphatic drainage?
Yes, now that's a big mouthful, isn't it?
Yes.
It's not known, okay? People often will say, what is it? And how do you do it on someone? Well, it's a very light touch. It activates the lymphatic system, which actually removes the waste and excess blood proteins from the cells. The lymphatic system has got one-track valves that go up the body. You want all the waste to come up and into the middle of the body, and you have a major lymph node in the middle here. They're called terminals, where all your lymphocytes and white blood cells get the toxins and deliver it to these areas to be cleansed, to be filtered back as pure water, then it goes back into the bloodstream through the heart, through the top of the neck here. And often people don't even know what lymph nodes are or where they are in the body. Okay, so I suggest a simple technique to demonstrate if you need some help with getting rid of your toxins in your body. So if you go to just below your ear and you just press slightly, maybe half a centimetre to a centimetre, and if that's tender or even painful or lumps or even a bit of fatty tissue, you know that your lymph nodes here are full and blocked, and they do need help to clear them, okay? Because you got to remember that the lymph system is delivering the waste to this area, and this main area gets oxygen into your head. Now you think this fluid, if it's not taken away with the lymph vessels, it becomes hard, and the pressure then builds up around the artery walls, maybe of your veins and things like that, and closes down the vein wall. It's still getting oxygen through, so you're not getting as much oxygen. So people then are walking around there feeling like, or they're fogged in the head or not really there, because we need oxygen, right, to live. Yeah? Okay, so if it's feeling sore or tender, so even when you're having a stressful day and you want to calm down, you just have to gently stroke. Now, they say about 50 strokes down towards the center of the body, just below the ear. You can even do behind the ear as well. You've got lymph nodes here, and just a very gentle touch, because the movement of your energy on your hands to someone's body actually pulls the enzymes to help the body flow. And you know, when you rub your hands together, you create some redness, you can, or electricity. That's bringing the blood to the surface as well, and it helps to get rid of the toxins and the excess fluid. Right? The lymphatic system also has lids on them. The lymph nodes have got lids on them. Okay, so the pressure has to be greater on the down than the up to open up the lid, because the body's smart. Did you know that? It's very smart. It doesn't want the excess waste and fluid to store down the ankles. It must come up to be processed. That's why if people have a lot of swelling in the ankles and it's not moving, it means that it's too much around the lymph nodes of their knees. Right? A lot of people get sore knees or injured in your knees and hips, and we got lymph vessels, pockets of them under our knees, you know, groin of our just panty line of our hips, through the middle, armpits, and our neck. Right? And the thing is that once you clear these in one gentle massage, that's all it is. This is such a non-invasive way to get rid of stubborn fat, which has become hard in the cells on the outside of the skin and the organs to block the oxygen.
So what are the overall benefits for people from having lymphatic drainage massage?
It can benefit everyone, from as young as 5 years old, or even babies, to someone who's 99. It just moves the waste out of the body to bring oxygen back into the body, which helps repair and maintain the body. Simple, isn't it? The waste blocks the nutrients and oxygen going to the cells. If someone has got arthritis or a condition of any kind, you just have to learn to get oxygen into the body and move the waste away, which is the lymphatic drainage massage. Very easy to do, very gentle, and often people fall asleep. Because people say, oh, what's the difference between traditional massage to lymphatic drainage? Right? Well, traditional massage uses and relies on hard rubbing. The benefits are for everyone, from a very young child to someone who's very old, from your grandparents to your siblings, anyone. It benefits everyone because it's a relaxation, and it actually makes you nice and peaceful and calm and reduce the toxins in your body, and toxins make you sick. It breaks down the immune system, which is near your chest, and by doing gentle stroking or massage around the middle and through the arms and the trunk, it's just a very relaxing massage to do.
So Michelle, then what would be your best advice for our viewers as a takeaway today?
My best advice was make sure you see a professional, okay, who's been qualified in the lymphatic system and how to activate it, okay. And that's all I can really say is it's a wonderful system and to cleanse your body and make you feel refreshed, renewed, full of energy, pumped for the day, clearing out toxins so you can actually get all your organs to activate, to lose weight, to build muscle, to feel great. So it's a wonderful, and I cannot say enough how good it is for everyone to go and experience lymphatic drainage.
Thank you very much. And for more information on Michelle Richardson and lymphatic drainage massage, then please go to her webpage on our website, healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au. Now, and see you after the break. After the break, the integrative health and wellness expert, Dr. Zara Celik, is talking about detoxing your life. Stay tuned. Welcome back, and we have Dr. Zara Celik back with us today, our integrative health and wellness expert, and she's talking to us about detoxing your life. So, Dr. Zara, what is detoxing your life?
Absolutely. So usually when we talk about detoxing life, people usually associate detoxification with a juice cleanse or a fasting experience that may try in their own daily lives. But it is more than that. When I talk about detoxing life, I'm referring to being mindful at mind, body, spiritual, environmental level, and even more. Because what we think, our thought process, what we say, is also contributing to how we feel. And also plays a role also what energy we create and radiate out in our environment, within ourselves and also in our workspace and with our loved ones. And of course, there's the detoxification of the physical body, which is, detoxing and giving a break to your organs. And, again, when it comes to detoxing at physical level, it is by individual. So I will encourage people to see what suits their needs, and to work on detoxing the physical body at that level. But having said that though, our body, our organs are always detoxing for us, but it is important that we support our detoxification organs. And, some of the organs that are involved in detoxification is our liver, our gut health, our gut itself, the digestive tract, our skin, skin pores, if they're open with sweating, and through the sweating we are also detoxing. So body is very intelligent at what it does on its own, but it is a great idea, something that I suggest people to really clean the skin clean. The skin pores are clean, so then the body is detoxing efficiently through the skin pores as well. It is also a good idea to pay attention how your digestive health is performing, like we did in our last interview, as well as how the liver is doing, and also are we having the right foods to take the load off the liver. Because liver loaders could be such as, alcohol or deep fatty fried foods. They can sort of add burden to the liver, which means the detoxification can become sluggish because liver is involved in physical detoxification process. And there is, of course, the lymphatic system when it comes to detoxing at the physical level. And the lymphatic system can need a bit of that boost time to time. So getting a nice regular lymphatic drainage massage can also help and support the lymphatic system as well as the physical detoxification system as well. And there's of course the environment that we work in, the environment that we live in. And we pay attention to, do we have enough greens in our environment to really help detox the air? Do we open our windows regularly to detox and clean the environment that we live in? Cosmetic products, personal care products come into play a role when it comes to detoxing our lives at environmental level. So the perfume that we put on, shampoos, deodorants, things like that, do they contain certain ingredients? They can disrupt our endocrine system. It can put a burden on the hormones and create that internal imbalance in the hormonal health. So that those will be the things that I will recommend people to pay attention when it comes to detoxing environment, as well as our cleaning products at home, in our kitchen, for our bathrooms. They could contain, toxins, even though we think that we're actually cleaning, it can actually then backfire on us as through the inhalation and through contact with the skin as well. But I always encourage, which is the big one, is to really pay attention to the mind, our thought process, not to hold resentment, and to clear that, to balance the mind. and also not to judge, criticize, including ourselves, as well as not to be infatuated with others. So that the whole thing can create imbalance in the mind and also in the individual as well.
When you say infatuated with others, can you clarify, give us a little bit of clarity on that?
Absolutely. So it's like, you like someone so very much, you only see one side of them and you just admire that one side of them so much that you instantly want to become that individual. You want to live like that individual. And then that makes you not authentic because you're not living your authentic self, you're not being your authentic self. And that can create imbalance in the mind and put us more in the immanent mind, and the transcendent mind can become imbalanced with the, in relation to our, immanent mind. So we want a good balance there, and to, really, as much as we can, to balance the mind, to operate from that transcendent mind, that creative mind, that authentic, objective mind.
So Zara, what would you say would be your top tip for our audience to take with them today?
Absolutely. So paying attention to mind, body, our thought process, our nutrition, our environment is very crucial. When it comes to, I just want to add in the nutrition because I didn't say too much on that one. It is important that we take care of our liver and our gut. My favorite one is actually beetroot juice or beetroot salad, and also raw aloe vera. I consume that particularly personally myself. So the beetroot really helps to support the gut health, to move flush toxins out, as well as taking care of the liver. So the other thing will be pay attention to our clinic products at home, be very mindful of what our clinic products can actually create internally in our environment, and also what effect it can have on the external environment for the other livings in the ocean as well.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And for more information on Dr. Zara Celik and detoxing your life, then please go to her webpage on our website, healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au, and we'll see Dr. Zara back next time on how to eliminate fatigue. Now we'll finish up for today, and we'll see you back next week with interesting guests and topics. If you'd like to know more about our show, please like our Facebook page and also subscribe to our YouTube channel.